Välkommen till programmet Tro Under som vi sänder från Mediemission International även den här fredagskvällen. Mediemission International är idag ett stort arbete och vi är jätteglada över att du är med oss. Vi har ju funnits på kanal 10 nu i rätt många år och vårt arbete växer. Vi får feedback varje månad, varje vecka skulle jag vilja säga, om att det arbete som vi står i, det Gud har gett oss att göra, det är någonting som verkligen tar tag i människors hjärtan. Och vi skulle aldrig kunna göra det här utan att du står med oss. Så vi vill tacka dig, du som ger av dina böner. Det finns många som ber för oss, vi vet det. Men det finns också sådana som ger av sina resurser. Och vi pratar väldigt lite om pengar faktiskt i vårt arbete. Vi pratar mer om generösa hjärtan. Och oavsett om du ger en stor summa eller en liten summa så ger du alltid utifrån dina egna förutsättningar. Så du ska veta att vi är så tacksamma. And this night we have a wonderful program ahead of us because we have two eminent guests in the studio. We have Hanna Hauka, you're the founder and president. And we also have Hani Hanein. You're the director of the Arabic department in our mission work. So very welcome.
Tack.
First of all, I must say that we feel and we know that we have been through so many years now. We have been seeing God's glory and God's hand upon our mission work. And yes, we are so thankful. And we have been touching so many countries, so many different cultures, and everywhere we see that the gospel breaking through. And now tonight we will talk about South Sudan. We have talked about that in the previous program, but also some about Syria and Damascus.
Yes.
And Hani and Hannu, you are so deep involved in these both countries. So what will you say about South Sudan? Because we have been talking about it before, and now things are developing. It's so?
Yes.
Hani, what can you say about the condition right now in our preparation?
Yeah, always I feel really blessed to come always to talk to you and talk to thousands of people that are watching our programs. I think the campaign in South Sudan is the most challenging campaign ever seen, because we cannot describe the situation just when we talk. But I wish that everybody can come and see by his own naked eyes, the situation there is really challenging. When you talk to people that are so broken, all the country, they need to be rebuilt, from every sectors, spiritually and mentality, and also, physically as well. So the campaign is really challenging. It will start next week. So, and we really need a lot of prayer because even the president and the vice president involved in this campaign, because everyone have sense that we should have big change in our countries. We cannot continue even a day more same like what it has been. Over years, people, they suffer of the war. Every day you have victims in the streets and, shooting. And the people say it is like a style of life, when they hear somebody is dead, it does not make any sense anymore.
Okay.
So it means that just 5 years, it is enough to change the mindset of people. So the campaign came at the right time.
Yeah.
When we start to see, it is a lot of work, maybe we can postpone it. Then everybody say, no, don't do it that. We need it right now. So we see if we don't take it, we will lose a lot of opportunities.
And this is a country is quite different if you compare to other countries. And I remember for some months ago when we started to talk about South Sudan, that you were there visiting the country and you were in a hotel. Just briefly mention what you experienced, because this is a... so people can understand this is a very special country.
Yeah, in the evening when we went into the hotel, of course, there's a curfew in effect, meaning that after 7 p.m. nobody moves on the streets. Nobody. White people.
Because of why?
Because of the danger to be shot or to be robbed. And so,
if you wanted to commit suicide,
if you want to end your life quickly, you can do that.
Yes.
Go outside.
Yes.
So outside our hotel, we had a jeep or a car or a truck with I think it was 5 heavily armed guards from the police force. I mean, the guns, you never see them in Europe. They're so big. And so, you know, you cannot carry them. You have to put them on the truck. And
Maybe
they were
we
there.
can put it on the screen now.
Yeah, we will show them, And so they were there to guard the hotel. So then we went to bed. It was about, roughly about maybe close to midnight. I was in bed and I started to hear this poo, 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 you know. I said to myself, those are gunshots. I heard them in Odessa, and they had a revolution going on, you know. And he said, okay. So I said, I know what the sound is. And then it became very intense. And I said, this does not sound good. And then I said to myself, if I hear footsteps coming down the hall in my hotel, then I know we have some trouble. Thank God.
Serious trouble.
Real serious trouble. But thank God there was no footsteps. In the morning, I asked the bishop, I said, can you explain to me, I heard this, I heard fighting, a gunfight. He said, oh, yeah, he said, I heard it too. He said, the story behind that is that a rebel group had penetrated the city, and the government soldiers, security forces, they clashed with the rebels and they shot them. And I said, but I didn't hear any ambulances. I mean, well, it's strange. He said, no, you will never hear it. We don't have ambulances. A truck comes down the street and we throw the bodies on the truck and take them away. That's it.
So it's a rough...
it's a very tough deal. And we have many reports of, even 2 pastors recently were killed. One was shot and wounded in his own home, apartment, and his wife, she was killed because she did not consent to being raped by the people, the gunmen. She said, no, I'm 5 minutes pregnant. I won't allow you to rape me. So they opened her mouth and they put a pistol into her mouth and they shot her. She died immediately. The friend who came to help, he was shot. As soon as he stepped in the door, he was shot and killed. And the husband who was wounded, he was taken to the hospital and he died in the hospital. And that was pastors that would have been involved in this campaign.
So it's touching my heart.
Yeah, it's, they paid a heavy price. I mean, obviously, they were robbed. People that were armed, the guards or the people that had the weapons. They were robbers, and they wanted to rob them. But they stopped at nothing.
Yeah. So this is a different kind of environment for us also to try to do this city mission.
Yeah, absolutely. It is, if we really would like to follow what Jesus did and all apostles and so on, it was not easy road for them. And God has chosen us to go there. It's not like we are going to just relax and, to have fun. It is not a game. It is really spiritual warfare.
Honey, there is no fun in South Sudan.
No,
I will think about that also.
If you wanted to have fun, you have to have guns, so you can shoot each other.
But what about, the conditions, the churches, the pastors, the leaders, they are ready to go with this.
Absolutely.
They are ready to pay the price. Compared to other countries, it must be different. In
every case, we are dying. Let's do something, value. Let's do something for this country before we die. And when they see us, they said, they said, you came at the right time for bringing healing to this society, to this country. And when you see the selective stories of this campaign, when we put it in the book and also in Mega Voice, all these guys and ladies, they are so broken, but God healed them and gave them power to forgive. And this is the key and the core mission what we have, to show this powerful story in every single media there, TV, radio, billboards, and the flyers, books, and so on. We need to surround people with this message. It is only God can give to them hope right now.
We're just saying that the country as a nation, there is a sense of, or a spirit, or how do you say it, as a depression.
Well, yes.
All over. The people, they have no future.
Absolutely. People don't believe there is a future.
Day by day, just don't know nothing
They
about.
don't believe there's a future.
Yes.
If things are continue like this, for them there is no future. Let me just tell you just one of the stories. I just remember it because I had read it and helped with the English language version. There's a young guy who went to school. On his way back from school, some of his classmates, they followed him, or they not followed him, but they surrounded him. And then they pulled out their weapons.
The kids had weapons?
Yeah, his school classmates. the same people he went to school with. And he said to them, my friends, we go to school together. Why do you have weapons? They said, because we're going to kill you. I said, but what have I ever done to you? He said, no, it's not what you did. It's what your people, your tribe did to our tribe. They have killed our people. We will now kill you as a price for what your tribe did to our tribe. And so he was ready to die. And suddenly this elderly man came down the road, and he saw what was going on, and he pulled out his weapon, and he shouted to the boys, do not touch this guy. If you do, I will kill all of you.
Oh my God.
And so God spared his life. And his testimony, his story is how God changed his life is right here.
Yes.
One of the stories.
Yes.
So you mean that the young people, the kids, they're going around wearing some guns and...
You know, they said guns, it is like our Visa card. You know? They can get anything by guns.
Sure.
You know? If they wanted to get food, you know, they have to just show it is a gun, and then that's it, you have to give money. So again, you know, you see how the society is building on that violence and this kind of hatred, and everyone would like to get revenge of that.
Let me just add to this that if you are a white man and you go to the market, to the central market, then you are a bank machine. And they come to the bank machine with a gun, which is their Visa card. And you know what happens? If the bank machine is broken, if it doesn't give the money, it's too bad for you.
Yeah. You know, imagine that if you work at the police station, you have no salary. So what you do? We are meeting these guys, you know, in the streets. They can stop you when you drive. Of course, we don't drive by ourselves, but they just need money. And we understand, you know, because the society is broken. There is no system working, and if it is corrupted society, so you have to wait every kind of, you know, violence and this kind of hatred. People, they see, okay, I live today, I don't know about tomorrow. So so this is the, you know, atmosphere when we go there, and it is really heavy atmosphere for the churches. When we said we come and we are stand with you here.
So when you go there, came to the airport or enter the land, what do you feel?
What do you mean by airport? I mean, let me tell you.
When a flight is arriving.
Where the airplane lands.
Not the airport, but what airport,
Where the airplane
what the flight. Yeah, but I mean, it must be a feeling of totally another kind of environment, culture than we are used to,
you know,
even in other hard countries. I mean,
it's different from pretty well all of Africa. I mean, I've never been to all the countries, but I mean, this is so different. When you come to South Sudan, you step off the airplane, you know that you came to a very, very different place. And you really don't know what is going to happen, because it's not only in the evenings when the violence takes place. In the middle of the day, you can see somebody being shot, or, you know, you can hear gunfire in the middle of the day. So even if you come off the airplane, nobody can guarantee that you will even arrive at passport control, which is in a tent.
So now, if we will talk some about our city mission, now we understand this is a challenge. What do you think of how? I mean, we have churches. There are small churches. We have pastors living in a total kind of another of. I mean, surrounded. We have how can we prepare it? What can we say to the Swedish supporters?
Yeah, in fact, you know, it took now 1 year for preparation. Like since last year, 2017, we start to go and meeting, you know, church leaders and training people. It is really big challenge, and it touched our hearts, me and Hanno, you know, because we never seen this like before. How it is in great need to launch the campaign there, and again, you know, something new for them. It is very challenges. For example, when we had just last week training how you can answer the phone. You know, we have done this kind of like very practical way how you can receive the phone, and if it is like some kind of difficult characters, the people they are attacking you.
Questions,
you know, people they were shaking when they were answering the phone. Even they know that it is we act like so. People they take it very serious now, and they love it. You know, to be involved. But again, you know, we don't know what can happen, but we know God has a great plan for this country.
Let me say that one more time, just a little bit there. When you said that you're going through training, and the people are getting trained to answer the phone calls and to answer the right questions, even when you do that in training, and somebody who is on the other side in training asks a bad question.
Yeah, it is like pretending. Yeah,
pretending. Even the person trying to answer the call starts to shake out of fear.
Yeah, it is, because they are afraid if this guy can really shoot them. You know, even the lady, she tried to, she started to shout. I said, take it easy. You see that here's the mindset of people, you know. They cannot, you know, like keep calm. So that's why you really, when you are treating people, you have to have God's heart, God's love.
For me, it sounds like the whole nation spiritually need a reformation. A totally a bomb of love from Jesus Christ himself.
I mean, I mean, in comparison, we talked to a Swiss UN official. He said that the United Nations has tried everything. They have brought in food, they brought in clothing, they brought in education, they've brought in the peace process. Nothing works. Nothing works. Medicine, nothing works. Then he listened to us as we said to him what these campaigns are like. Then he said, this is the only hope for this nation.
He said so.
He said so. Yeah.
And even, you know, like when we met the, you know, director of this TV station.
Yeah, because we will broadcast and send some via TV and radio.
So he said that.
Before you say that, I just wanted to show everyone.
Show it.
Yes.
This is SSBC, South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation. It's like Sveriges TV.
SVT.
Yeah, Channel 1, SVT.
The public service.
Ja, det är kanal 1 i södra Sudan. Och det finns inte 2. Det är bara 1.
One channel.
Yeah, this is the only channel. It is a government channel.
Yeah. So we will try to use.
Yeah, but what it touched my heart, he said, "Can you do you have samples of the program? Would you like to broadcast on our channels?" Yes. So we show just, you know, segments from one of the story. He says that I need this 2 hours every day to broadcast it in our channels. I said, it is only 30 minutes. He said, we would like to rerun it, you know, every day, 2 hours.
Yes.
So he he was so taken by it. And we see, you know, people, they just, you know, hold on that. You know? So I see people, they are really desperate for like,
what can we say to the Swedish people? Because this is, when I hear you, this is a totally new, this is a country, it's a broken country, living in despair, afraid of, nervous, shaking for everything.
You know, one of the leaders, domestic leaders over there, he said to me, when I said to him, I think this campaign will reach maybe 1.5 million people, he said, no, you are mistaken. This campaign will reach 6 million people, and he was talking about broadcasting, radio and television, and it's something that will shake the nation.
Yes.
Wow.
And now let me say that, Hani, you just showed me these papers before we came.
Yes.
One telecast will cost about $250. If you have 4 times a day, it's $1,000 a day, roughly. So if you want to sponsor one telecast reaching 6 million people, it costs 250 euros, I think.
Yeah.
2,500 crowns.
Yeah.
It's a cheap to reach so many people.
6 billion people.
But also, you know, for 30 days we broadcast these stories. Plus, every week we will have a live show, which it means, you know, we collect very expertise, you know, pastors and leaders. They are talking about forgiveness, about hatred, about revenge, and then we open the lines. You know, for people, they call to our call center. So again, you know, like we really expected, you know, God's move there and so on.
I know that the Swedish people, they love what we're doing. I know that. But they also want to know and to be secure that the follow-up work is there.
Yes, sure.
Because we have talked so many times that we are always working together with local churches, and this is no exception. Yeah.
Sure. You know, as Hani well knows, I mean, he can say more about it, but when I was there, we worked with, and we still work, and we will work even after the campaign, with the South Sudan Council of Churches. That means that every single church in the capital city, Juba, is involved in the campaign.
Yeah.
There are maybe a few exceptions, but 99% are involved with the campaign. Yes. And they are the key to the follow-up. When it's our time to leave and we want to another country, they will still be there working, and we will be providing them with the help they need to follow up people for the next year at least.
Yes, at least, yes. Yeah. And even though, you know, they are just thinking to extend the campaign, we don't yet start. They said this campaign should not end.
So you must also raise up a prayer army also in Sweden.
Yes,
sure.
And to prepare the ground. But we must talk about this, honey.
Yeah, sure.
Because many people in Sweden has responded to that mega voice.
Yeah, all the stories here
in that book.
From the book.
I think I want to show you like this.
It is not this particular one because we are printing in Uganda now.
Yeah.
You know, so we print 25,000 in Arabic and in English as well book. But all the stories it will be installed here in this mega voice. And we have here also, you know, the ultimate questions about life, you know, like why you have to forgive each other and so on. And it's a very powerful message. Plus we have also Bibles, you know, for kids. You know, it is a story about Jesus and so on. And this it is a wonderful device that, you know, it is a solar powered.
No wire there, it's
so
on a solar.
People, they can really listen and listen and listen. And I think it is a great tool in our hands.
So if you take this mega voice and put it like here and turn on, you can sit around it.
Yeah, let me try it here so you can listen. So.
Chapter 1, Book 1, Section 1, Language 1.
Yeah. So you can change the, you know.
Chapter 1, Book 2.
And now we will...
Let me say this, Morgan. Somebody will say, well, why do you need this if you have the book and if you have the other media? The reason why is 70% of the nation do not know how to read or write.
No.
Yes.
And that's UNESCO. They tell us, you know, UNESCO statistics. So the only way to reach 70% of the nation, of course, television will do it because you don't know, you don't need to read.
No.
You can see it.
Yeah.
Radio, you don't need to read. But for most of the people in the villages, this is their only source of learning about Jesus.
Yes. And how many do we plan to distribute in the first?
20,000.
20,000 pieces.
Yeah, pieces. And it is...
and every piece costs about 25 euro.
Yes.
250 crowns.
Yes. Yep. But imagine that 5 euros, it goes to many families. And they can listen just... Villages. You know, they have these speakers, they just plug it in and we can show some pictures there how they can listen.
You can plug in this to a big louder.
To a megaphone.
And then people, they come from the village and they listen and so on. So again, it is, we wish to even order more.
That's like a preacher.
Yes.
It is. It's an evangelist.
Yes.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what can we expect? I mean, we need to raise up a prayer army in Sweden. We need some resources. Honey, you are responsible for this. What will you say to the Swedish people? You had a chance now.
You know, like, many times we say, of course, prayer is very important, but also, you know, just also when you pray and, you know, God will talk to your heart, you know, how it is very impacted, you know, campaign. We are short of some resources now because we would like to print more books and, you know, also even to import more mega voices and so on. But again, whatever you can, you know, donate to this campaign, it will be a great blessing. You know, you will get the double blessing from God, and also people there, they are. They listen the message of God. So what is the purpose of life if you keep everything to yourself? But again, you know, like stretch your hand, and you know, God will bless you more and more.
Yes.
The time is running now, and the program will end soon. But I just want to add also to you, honey, that I think in Sweden we can raise so much more resources to this mission work. Hanno and I had talked about it today, that in Sweden we have so many generous mission families and mission hearts that we believe that so many people can do even more. We're not talking so much about money, but we're talking about heart.
Sure.
And people, they know that now, after some years we have been in Sweden, more than 10 years, that we always work with the local churches. And our follow-up work is so, it's so important for us, and we're so serious about that.
Yes.
So we want to challenge the Swedish viewers and supporters so they can join, they can come and see and take part of it.
Just to emphasize that, Morgan, we never go into any city in any country unless the church is involved fully.
No.
We don't go. There's no point in going and having a mega city campaign if the church does not do its job.
No. And that's the same now in SydSudans. Så du som lyssnar nu, du har hört Hanni och Hanno berätta om SydSudan. Och det har tagit mitt hjärta att det här är ett annorlunda land. Och vi kommer att komma tillbaka i kommande program och följa upp det här arbetet och se hur det går. Och vi är så beroende av att du ger ifrån ditt hjärta. Framförallt ska du be tillsammans med oss om att miljoner människor ska bli frälsta, få tag i Jesus Kristus. Men också se till att du kan ge kanske en extra gåva. Och vi har en tidning i vårt arbete som heter Mediemission. Den ser ut så här. Ett av de exemplaren som har gått ut. Och i screenen just nu så ser du vårt 90-konto som är 90 03 07-0. Och du kan också swisha. Och att swisha, det är väldigt bra, för då kan man ta sin smartphone och man kan hålla på och swisha så mycket man vill. 1 2 3 4 5 488 22. Och du ska veta det att vi är så tacksamma över de gåvor som kommer in, och vi tror att Gud vill göra så mycket mer. Hanni and Hanno, you're a great man of God, and we are so privileged to have what you're doing, and God will increase our work. Amen. And we pray now for South Sudan, and in a special time, and we believe that God will do mighty things.
Amen. Amen.
Så vi önskar dig det bästa vi kan ge dig från vårt arbete med Mission International, och det är Guds rika välsignelse. Tack ska ni ha.